Hi guys, I've just come off of eBay, and it's I've been having problems with them for some time now. Certainly with the last updates they've done, and they're a frigging joke. Really are. Um, they now do an automatic relisting scheme, and you can't get out of it. It's automatic. So I'm just putting these stamps in view for you, so you've got something to look at. Um, it's a joke. It's really nothing but a joke. They're, I wrote to them yesterday complaining. They're not an auction site anymore. They're um they're just a shop. The site is solely now geared towards businesses, not private auctioneers like me. Um, I forgot what the other thing is I wanted to tell you about. Uh, what was the other thing? There's two things I've got to say about it, but I've had enough of it. The trouble is, I've looked around Catty Weeks, and other auctioneer sites. I went on Mad Bid because I did try them years ago when I considered leaving eBay, and that's just as poor. You can't deny that eBay's got a brilliant site, but it's not an auction site. It's a shop. It's the only people that everything is geared up for. Everything like that is it's geared up for is a detriment against the person wants to do a private auction, because if you want to do a private auction, yes, it's okay, it's free in inverted commas. um they've got you because you've got a promotional listing function. So what they're actually telling you, if you think about it logically, what they're saying is they are restricting your listings. They're restricting your listings, and you don't know. You might think you know, but you don't know what they're doing. You don't know how to. It's quite obvious how they're doing it. They're taking your viewing from things like Catchy Wicks and all the rest of it, all the other crap that's out there. That's what they're doing. Like Facebook, they're not promoting it via Facebook, so everything's being stopped. The only thing you've got, and most people don't do it now, but I can't be bothered. I can't be fagged to go around and start putting all these listings. I'm not joining um, sites like um, what I just mentioned. I can't remember what it was. I've never been a one for it. I've never been a one for Twitter. Actually, a friend of mine got me involved in Twitter. They convinced me and to join, and she tells me your name's on it. You've got 4 accounts. I said 4. I said I haven't even had one. This is the first time I've been on here. Then she started going on about something to do with a pirate, not the Pirates of Penzance, something else. And I said I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. So I came off of that and I've deleted that. But again, you delete these sites. That was Twitter when it was Twitter. Now it's X. I wish I'd never joined in the first place. Like I say, it was only because of this woman. And you don't know where your information's held. You know, you've cancelled the site, but you don't know where it's held. Because I didn't even know I had 5 accounts if you take this pirate one. You know, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. And, you know, you can see fraud really taking off, especially with AI. You can really see fraud being a thing. This will be the gearing up of cashless society. They've been pandering to it for some years now. And if you really want to take note, you could go back to 1970s when they started making people have their wages paid into a bank account, and that was all done under the inverted commas. It will stop robbing of security vans and all the rest of it. That's what all that was done under. I can remember it well because I said I don't want my money paid into a bank account. I said I want my money in my hand, and you couldn't do it. You had no choice, no choice. And so that's how that happened. And it's the same with the pensioners. You know, they've done away with the pension books, made them all have electronic cards. And what do? They closed the post offices in little villages. So that forces the pensioners to have to go into towns. It's all a frigging disgrace, it is. Anyway, yeah, so there's promotional listings. The other one, I was on top of that before even, well, as soon as it happened, the global shipping program. What a con that is. What a con that is. Now, admittedly, it is sending something abroad is quite hard. Now, I fell foul of this some years ago. I can't remember how many years ago. Anyway, what happened was I was expecting an item from America, and I heard nothing for some time, and I thought something's wrong here. And all of a sudden, I get an email from the post office. Please go to such and such a site and pay a fee. So I thought, well, I'm not expecting anything whereby I've got to pay a fee. So I was a bit dubious that it was a scam at first, so I ignored it. And then I got another one from them, and I thought, okay, I'll try it. And went onto the Royal Mail website, and it was custom charges, custom import charges. And I thought, what the heck am I paying for that for? What is? So I went on, had to go to HMRC, Her Majesty's HRM, HMRC, Her Majesty's Royal Customs, is it? I think it is. And went on there. What a rigmarole their site was. Oh, it's a flipping nightmare. Do you know what? There's nothing. When you go on the internet, there's nothing dead easy other than getting yourself into a con. And their site is diabolical. It's diabolical. Anyway, I eventually got through to this woman. I said, what the heck's going on? So she said, you're paying customs imports charges and customs. Hang on, let me get this right. Customs import and customs something else. You're allowed, under the gift scheme, you're allowed up to £15, I think it is. And anything over £15 it's not an import charge, it's another charge. But you get stung for the two. So I said, you're joking. I said, I've never heard of this. In all the time that I've been dealing, I said, this is what I said to them, in all the time I've been dealing with Americans, I've never once come across this before. So I told her about one of the things that I used to buy from America, and she said, oh, excuse me, she said, you really want to count yourself lucky. So I said, what do you mean? She said, all those items you've explained to me, she said, they all come under collectibles. And this is where the old penny starts dropping. It goes ka-ching, ka-ching. And I said, what do you mean it comes under? And she said, well, it's like an eBay. It's a collectible. And the collectible has value. Doesn't matter whether the value is what you think. It's what we determine it at. And I like just then you hear that pause, and my brain's whirring away, and it's whirring away, and it's thinking, what the heck's going on? And she said, this was before Labour. She said that we're actually tightening up on all of this. She said, we've been pretty lax, and she's quite open about it. She said we've been quite lax with regard import charges and things. An amount I've got away with. If I start totaling all that up, all these things that I've had that I've paid nothing for, so I said, okay, I've got to hold my hands up. I said, because I'm the one who's ignorant here. I should know. And she walked me all through it. The whole thing, what you've got to do now. She walked me through it. And I said to myself, no, I'm done with this. I'm not prepared to keep doing this. I mean, if you've got a certain thing that you're selling, then yes, it's worth doing it. But if you're covering a broad spectrum of items, different items, it's not. Well, it is. You'd have to write it all down. Although once you found your way around this website, because she guided me through all of this, made it a lot easier. But my memory being what it is, I forget, so I'd have to write it all down. That's why it's all a bit too much of a fact. Now, this is where the global shipping program come from, because it happened at the same time. It's so obvious. Obviously, all these websites, auction sites, are being dictated to. And I'm only putting this as regard to, although I say that, and before I say that, I've got to take them words back, because what are they doing now? HMRC are now being alerted. If you sell anything on eBay of a regular occurrence or have an abnormal amount, you're flagged up. You're flagged up now, which is why I think I've been very lucky up until now. But it's something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop selling things on a regular occurrence, because you're going to be investigated. They will look into your bank account and see what's what. Because this is it's so ironic that all this is happening with Reeves and what she's doing. And this is where they're hitting hard. This is what they've learned. They've been losing billions. They've been losing billions in taxes. And it's the one part, they're catching up on people. So again, the little private lister like me, who's trying to sell off my goods, all my collections and things because I've got to get my money back, and like doing all this with my coins and showing you, you know, what's going on with coins. Because that's why I gave up coins, as you regularly will hear me say on my coin items. You know, it's beyond a joke. You're paying for crap and you're being taxed to the hilt for it as well. And yeah, and it's not free. eBay's not free. You look at their terms and conditions. Their terms and conditions still say, so while this might be a trial to get people back into selling on eBay or buying even, the terms and conditions still state a final value fee, the old system. It still state the rules are there. You have a look. You see, this is what we become very uh, acceptable. We accept things for what they are. So when you see something like it's free listing, you accept that it's free listing. But what they're going to do is they're going to drop that term, free listing will drop, and then it will come. They'll sneak this back in. They'll sneak this back in. These terms, these old terms, the old system, they'll sneak that back in. You wait and see. And it's a disgrace. Everything is a con. Everything is a con. It's like when you're reading these forums and things, or messenger sites where you see in the news and that, and they're going on about Temu, and you look on YouTube, the amount of people that are taking up doing reviews on Temu or reviews on something else and blah blah blah, and these clowns on YouTube that say, "Oh, subscribe and blah blah blah." It's free to subscribe and free to thumbs up for their logarithms. Yeah, it is free for you to do that, but you're getting nothing from it, whereas the person that's asking you to do it is getting paid for doing that. It's obnoxious. Yeah, I can't describe words to describe what's going on and how these people are doing this. You know, it's disgusting, really. It really is disgusting. And I don't know. I won't go on to YouTube because you know, I do what I do, and that's, as far as I'm concerned, I don't care what anybody else does. I'm just trying to inform people about. Not informing you about eBay. Um, oh, there is something else. There's something else that's got right up my week just recently with eBay. It's something to do with. It's something to do with money. Can't think what it is. Maybe I was thinking along the lines of. Oh no, this relisting thing. What they do. So you've got. Let's start right from the beginning of this. You start off with 300 free listings a month. So from a shop's point of view, and this is where they're making money with the shop, if you're only selling 300 listings once in a month, that's fine. But if you're doing this automatic relistings, that's all coming out of your 300 listings. See, this is where they're catching out. This is where they're catching out people of foreigners, which is a good thing in a way. It is a good thing. They're catching out all these foreign fly-by-nights. All these sort of scam merchants, really, as well. They're catching them out. Oh, if only my mind would stay on track. It's gone. No, it's gone. It's the whole thing is disgusting. It's beautiful. I could swear. It's disgusting. Yeah. So what they're doing, and I'm only learning this as I'm going along. It's a slow progress with me because I'm thick as a plank. When I started, this is my first time back in eBay for a long time. I'm trying to sell all my stuff off. I started up with the coins, and I've sold quite a few coins on eBay. But that wasn't it. This wasn't in then. This is it since I've started taking up coins. So what I'm doing now is I'm selling all my other stuff, all my other collectibles, and I'm going along and I'm listing these, making these listings, and all of a sudden when you go to your platform, and you go to look up on selling, but all this has changed. All this has changed because you've got this automatic relisting. Anyway, I thought, hang on a minute, that's not right. That was on a 10-day auction. That shouldn't be coming up, as quick as it was. So then you go in, and then you find out there's this. It's my own. I've got to say, no, yeah, let's get things right. It's my own fault because I don't read the updated agreements, terms, and things. Who does? Who does? But so it's my own fault. And then you come up with this thing with automatic relistings. The automatic relistings is automatically set for 7 days. So 30 items, 7 days. So that's 28. That's 4 times a month. In any month, even if it's up to 28. That's February. So you've got to divide. Hang on, let me get my calculator open. Where's my calculator? There it is. 300 divided by 4 equals. So you're getting what they've geared it up for is you're getting 75 listings 4 times a month. Anything over that, you start paying. You start paying the final value fee, blah 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 blah. Do you understand? Does that make sense to you? What I'm saying there? So it is free to list, but if you unknowingly do something like have 75 items, more than 75 items, and they're on this automatic listing, you're paying for that. Now, I don't know how a business, what credits it gets, VAT and all the rest of it. It gets, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. Not promotions, they can write stuff off through tax and that sort of thing. what's the word for that? I can't think what the word is. So I'm wondering if businesses get a refund as such through tax for that. That's what I'm wondering. But if so, the thing with eBay is then, the first thing you've got to understand, do not have more than 75 items at any one time on the go, because if you do, you're going to be paying the old rates because it takes you into that bracket. That's not free free to list on eBay or free to sell, whatever their little catches for that. It's free to list. No, it's free to sell or is it free to list? I can't remember what the term is they say on their little advert. No, it's free to sell, isn't it? That's what they come up with. It's free to sell. Only if you do that. If you list 75 items at any one time, that's 4 times a month. And you've got to be careful there because some days have got 30 odd days. So you're going to fall into that trap. You're going to fall into that trap. And I wonder how many people actually would know, who would realise that that's happening. Because I can tell you one thing, that is the other thing. It is, yeah, it's to do with their invoices. They got this thing where it's called customer protection, buyer protection. That's it, buyer protection. So you list something for £2 and there's a protection fee. Now I still haven't worked it out whether the buyer pays that fee or whether I pay that fee. When I looked on the invoice, it's very ambiguous. But then it's not hard to baffle my brain. I'm not someone, it's easy to rip me off because I don't grasp things as much as I should do. That's been ever since my accident. My brain does not compute. It's just knackered. And but when you're looking at that invoice, how do you know that invoice is true? Because it's an electronic invoice. It's done online. You don't get your invoices. So it says, I can't remember what the wording says. Let me just get it up on the screen. Because what I'm doing now is I'm physically going through my items. And it's hard to work out without writing it. If you see, look, I've got an item here I listed 4 days ago, and it's got 6 days left, so that's 10. And I remember doing that. So let's go to another one before that. 6 days, 6 days, 6 days, 6 days, 6 days, 5 days. 5 days ago, yeah. See, that computes. So that's 10 days together. 5 days ago, 5 days left. This is how I caught it out. Here's one for you. 5 days ago, but I've only got 4 days left. That's 9. That's not right. That's not right. Let's go to the next page, last page, because these should be my most recents. Yeah, right. So it's caught up. So I've been deleting items today, and it's caught up. Or eBay has decided to. Right, here you go. Those of you if you follow my YouTube, talking about the 1p 1989 BU coin, which is actually proof, but I couldn't sell it as proof because of the um, scuffs and things on it. Although it's a proof coin, I couldn't sell it as a proof because a proof coin. And here comes another. Well, you know this if you followed me on YouTube. You know it's all down to listing or terminology. What's proof? What's mint? And what's BU? BU is a category that's like Cinderella's is with stamps. It covers a broad spectrum of things. Once you list something as BU, you would have trouble fighting that. Because if you said, "Oh, there's a scuff on it or there's a nick on it," they'll say, "But that's what brilliant uncirculated is. It's a coin that's proof-like, but has slight imperfections." Well, that's like saying that's like saying there's a mountain in front of you, and you can choose whichever way you want to go. It's not. Whereas if someone sold something as proof or mint, those two words mean what they mean: proof and mint. But even that is ambiguous in itself. Because what's the difference between a proof coin and a mint coin? You will have heard me going on about this. Now that was set up, listed 4 days ago. 3 days left, so that's 7 days. Now this is how I found it out. What's going on? 7 days. I thought 7 days. No, I do everything 10 days. No, not so, because everything's relisted. So you go and the trouble is, unless you set up and see, this is the thing. So you're constantly having to do things. You just can't sell something straightforward. You can't go on eBay, sell a coin, and be done with it, because there's all these loopholes, these rabbit holes that catch you out, and it's all deceitful. And this is what raw mint are. This is what I've come to with raw mint. It's a money-making scam. There's a site on YouTube I came across the other day. They're a buyer sellers of bullion, and they were saying about this. All these coin companies, Westminster. The one that I was just about to say, and it's gone out of my mind. There's loads of them. The London Mint. So you get the London Mint and the Royal Mint. So easy to get confused, isn't it, between the two when you think about it? If you think logically about what the London Mint means and what the Royal Mint means. What's the other one? Begins with a P. Pobjoy Mint. Most of these companies are companies that are they're selling you a coin at an extension, exclusively high amount of money for what the coin is actually worth. You'll see all these in adverts in papers. £5 for £5 coin. That's a classic one. A £5 for £5 coin. But it's not a £5 coin. It is in detail, but it's not in legal tender. So it's a £5 coin as a £5 coin. But you've got to work out whether it's legal tender, if it's a real £5 coin. Because that's what the difference is. Do you see what I mean? Can you see where the logic is with the way it's set? Do you get it? I hope you do. I mean, I'm not the best person to describe it, to be honest. Because funny enough, yeah, there's another guy that I'm not giving you these names because I don't think I should. I love him because I went into the back. I started copying what he did, and it's amazing. It's amazing. But again, it's another little con on eBay. You can half make some money out of this. He goes using legal tender coins, but obscure coins. These coins that are sold on the Royal Mint, like the £100 coins, the £50 coins, blah blah blah. But you have to know which ones are actually legal tender. But even still, even if it's legal tender, you're still falling foul. And this is what I'm going to come up with next. You're falling foul of another thing. Another thing is, now a Scottish pound note or a Scottish £5 note is actually, because Scotland now is independent, that's not legal tender in England. Now, if you take one to the bank, which is when this guy did this, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I've got Scottish notes, and I thought, right, I'll do that. I'm going to go the other way round. The trouble with legal tender. There's certain things legal tender can do, like you can pay a debt in the grade of 1p coins. You're allowed, I think it's 20 pence. 2p coins, and it starts going up. 5p coins goes up, and each one is graded, and it goes up the amount you can use. There's a certain amount you can use to pay as a debt or to pay a bill. So if you, so let's say you got a council tax bill and you had a load of hundreds of pennies and you took that to the council, don't have to even look at it. They don't have to, because it's not legal. You're only companies are only obliged to take a certain amount of any one form of currency, as I've just said, and each one goes up. So 1 penny is 20 pence, and so forth. It's a bit like, when you bag up coins, which is becoming really hard to do, when in actual fact, my bank doesn't even do it anymore, and most banks, I don't think you'll find, don't do it. When you buy bagged up a coin, let me get my church bag. You could bag up £1 of 2p's, £1 of pennies. Of course, you know what? This has even got... That can't be right. Yeah, this one's got a half-p on it still. Bloody hell. How old's that? You can do £5 of 10 pences, £5 of 5p's. Hang on a minute, let me find out one that's clearer. Yeah, so it's £20 of £1 or two coins, one or £2 coins, £10 in 50 or 20s, £5 in tens or fives. Oh yeah, this is more up to date. £1 in 2p's. Now that's very similar. So that's a guide, but I mean that's being very fair. But banks now, you can only pay in bag money if you're a business. It's the only time they'll accept it. If you're um, just paying in as a normal person, they now tell you to go and use the machine, in the wall that you just stick all your coins in. But you've got to be very. This is something else. You've got to be very careful that you've counted that money. And see, what annoys me is you'll count all that money up, put it through that machine, and that machine will spit out anything that's crippled, fake, blah blah blah. So then you've got to alter your records, and it seems to it becomes a fag. It becomes tedious. You've got to start behaving in a way that you don't want to behave. This is what it is. It's all manipulation. So yeah, there's been another thing that pees me off. But anyway, going back to these, this is legal tender. So I took this Scottish pound note, and I said, "Here, I've been given this in my change, and I've been told it's now not legal tender." So I had a great conversation with the teller, the bank teller, and she explained everything to me regarding Scotland. She said what I've said to you basically, which is Scotland is now independent, same as Wales is. Wales is independent. It's gained its independence, but the banks haven't caught up with it. The legal tender is ambiguous because the government haven't done when they let Scotland become independent. It's the same with EU. Everything was going to be EU and everything was going to be interwound, and then it changed. Banks realised then that they couldn't make money out of it, so that died a death. Now that's how it works in the other way, how banks manipulate you, because the euro was agreed. That was all agreed for the European rights, or whatever you want to call it. It's not the rights, it's European directives. Yet the bank still made money on it. They were saying that to change your money into euros, you had to pay a fee. That's the other way round. So she said, because the law hasn't caught up, or government hasn't caught up, although it's not legal tender in England, they can't say that because it's not in law. Fantastic things you can learn. I'm telling you, it's really amazing. And but you've got to stand up. You've got to stand up and not be scared. And sometimes it will go beyond what you find acceptable to stand up for. But it's great if you're on YouTube. You can make. I'm not doing that. But it's a great way to make money. It's a great way to make money because people love it. They love all this stuff. Hang on a minute, I've got to watch my camera time. 44 minutes. Oh, if it goes off and starts again, I'll keep an eye on it. And yeah, so it's fantastic. It's fantastic what you can learn. But everybody's at it. Everybody's at it. Like I say, eBay's one of them. You know, same with stamps, as I said, been saying with you with Cinderella's. But coins is my my bugbear. Um, you know, when what I considered to be a coin of error, and what I'm describing with you, um, it's beyond a joke. The whole principle of the Royal Mint is a scam. It's a legalised scam, because what they're admitting to you is there's these different types of grades of coins that you've got to pay for. You've got to pay for to get these coins. So for you to buy an immaculate coin, you've got to pay a premium, and that's what they're geared up to do. Now the Royal Mint shouldn't be that. Does that make sense? The Royal Mint are there to produce coins for use. They're not that, well, obviously somewhere in the line, this has become money making. One would assume it's sort of pre-70s that it changed, because you sort of coin sets were 1951 or certain years that would be deemed to be a coin set. But this is all changed without you knowing. Now, do you know what ask yourself what the principle of a bank is. Ask yourself what is the principle of saving with a bank. Okay. Now I'm getting on in years, and my understanding of a bank and saving is totally different to now. My understanding of a bank was that a bank would I've got to do. I can't think how I'm going to do this. I can't think of the wording. You lending and saving. If they lend you money, they charge you a high rate of interest, and you, as a saver, by saving, you get a fraction of that money. So that's how it used to work. It doesn't now. That's not how it works at all. It's completely and utterly different. Completely and utterly different. And I can't remember. I was absolutely gobsmacked. I learnt that on YouTube. The terminology of saving and banks is completely different now. It's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. It's mind boggling. It's mind boggling what you learn. Um, yeah, it's everything. And this is, do you know, it really does bring home. I always used to say, and I do actually still say it now, as soon as you step out your front door, you're in a world of a scam. That's what you're living. Your life is a world of a scam. If you don't know the ins and outs of a dog's backside, you're going to be scammed, because everything's changed and we don't know. And this is what I'll now come back to with eBay. And it's sad. It is so sad. And like this with Bitcoin. The, the, it's amazing how Bitcoin worked. It worked on a premise that if you bought into Bitcoin, that you would earn this money. You know, it would earn you this money, and they would produce these figures, and then the scam companies catch on, and they start trying to do the same. It's so funny, and that's what you've got now. Electronic or cryptocurrency, as they call it, is now a big thing. You've got all these different versions of crypto, and it's all done on a scam. So the more money they get, then they start buying the gold to back up their figures. So what's basically happened with crypto, they've got people to invest, and they've actually invested in paying for their investment. Oh, it's great. It's frigging great. This thing with science, everything began with nothing. Everything started with the Big Bang. You know, something from nothing. And that is what the cryptocurrency exactly is. It's that. So it's a phenomenon, and it's worked. Cryptocurrency, whoever dreamed that one up has done a brilliant thing. And this is why the terminology of banking has changed. But we're on the last days of money, actual physical money. This is going to stop. At some point, it's going to stop. You're just going to be asked to cash in all your coins at some point, all your notes, and you'll have a set time to do it. And if you don't, by that time, it's not like it is now. You can still pay in the round 1 point coins. And hang on a minute, let me these coins, the £1 coins. See, they're round. They're not sided, but you can still pay those in. Actually, that's something I've got to do. I've got to list these. Yeah, that is 19. No, it's 2014. Oh, 2014. Yeah. It's a round coin. They changed. When did they change? 2015 was it? No, it'd be 2016. They changed into the hexagonal or whatever agonal coin that is. You can't. You can use them. Most shops, people, like I say, tillers don't look at their coins. If you sneak one in, I've done it myself, to be honest. Usually is when I've been palmed off myself. Someone's given me one in my change, and I haven't looked. So what I do is I do the same back. I just stick it in with amongst a load of coins, and they don't look. So they just stick it in their till, and so forth. But the banks actually, if you stick these on the oh, look at that! I've just noticed that. Look at that. There's a corkscrew on this one. Let me mark that. Let me just do that with my, come on, my trusty pointer. Look at that. It's a corkscrew. This coin has skipped. Isn't that much? Yeah, I've just picked that randomly out of a pile of coins that I've got to take up the bank. But look at it. You can see that it's skipped. It's skidded. I was gonna say it's a corkscrew, but it's not a corkscrew. That's where the coin has skidded in the strike. Let's see what else we can do. Let's see what else we can do. There you go. And again there. That's the other side of the coin. That is incredible. And I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what that's all about there. There you go. There's more signs. That's all signs. God, look at the state of the air. You wouldn't believe this coin is really nice and shiny. Because I tell you what, it's come out of my own collection. But you would not believe, looking at this coin without magnification, that it would show all this, what you can see here. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try, well, there's no point in, what I should do is go through them all, and the ones that are the best, I will try selling as BU. But I've probably got proof pound coins that I bought in sets. Because sometimes you have to do that. You have to buy. God, look at that. Yeah, look how, see the dots? That's poor strike dots. Because you look at that one and then look at them. This is amazing thing about um, coins. It's phenomenal. Now you look at the rim on this. This is, oh, here it goes. No, it's going wide now. Look at the rim there. Look how thin that rim is. And now it's coming out the other side. That's why this coin has got those skid marks on the other side. And if you could do that, if I could show you them as it is, if I could show you like a glass, put this on a glass and show you both sides, you could marry them up. You could marry those skids to this, because this is now going wide, a wide rim. Look at that there. Yeah, look. See, I've not got round to doing this, but I will. I shall take these all out the bank soon. I'm not going to try selling them on eBay. No one seems to be interested with my quest. You know, um, and I don't blame people, because you've either got to get stung. Oh, look at that there! Look at that there! Come on, pen. There, look at it. And there it goes. It starts going thin again. You get a passion, but what's annoying, what's really annoying, is that old coins with errors are going the same way. No one's interested. No one's interested. People are only prepared to pay what they think. There's no, this value to coins has gone out the window. It's I suppose really stamps is the starter of that, because there's now there's so many fakes. There's so many fakes around in whatever you look at. There's so many fakes, like fake Rolexes. They're brilliant to look at, and you can con someone quite easily. But if you don't know what you're looking for, and it goes back to that principle. Yeah, see, all these coins are out of my own collection. I was going to try and sell them, but I'm like I say, I'm so disheartened with eBay. I'm not bothering. I was just showing. I might even do that. I might even do a run on the old coins, the old £1 coins, because I've got them all there, ready to take up the bank. So I'm sorry we've gone in a roundabout way. It's only by the logic of trying to show you things rather than just talk about them. I mean, you can tell that what you're seeing there, you can see it on the rim, the damage with the eye, but the inside of it is hard. You can't see all those scratches. You can't see all this. But, someone who knows what they're doing, especially with older coins, they can tell you when a coin's been polished. You just got to look for the right things. And this is why collectors of coins want the coin in the state that it should be, dirty. Because then what they can do is they can look through it with the magnifier and tell what's what. But you've even got people doing that, trying to make coins look older for value. It's just it's a scam. Everything's a scam. Oh, even these had even these. Oh, blimey! Oh, yes, they did. Yes, I know. I remember now. It was Nemo me. It was impugn. This is Latin, wasn't it? Oh, I will do this actually. I will do this, and we can see how things have not, how things have nothing has changed. How things have not changed at all. Yeah, this is all Latin. I'm sure it is. Because what does that say? Lassist. Lassist. Oh, and even that's got a cross on it. Well, I be. I never knew. I never knew. I thought that was only on the coins that were being faked. Like 2016 and onwards. Because these weren't for security features. Not from my memory, it wasn't, and it's not that old. I will do this. That's going to be my next quest for you. And see how many of these have got issues. Like that E. Look at the top. Look at the top part to the bottom. Let's find another E on here. Now, there you go. Look at that E. Right? So the top is over Well, then they're roughly the same, right? Okay, until we come to this E. Look at that bottom E to the top one. I don't believe it. I'm sorry this has gone on for an hour and a bit, but I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to go onto these as well, and then I'll take these out the bank. So it is supposed to overrun a bit by looking at it. It's a few millimetres, I would imagine. But look how that E is different to that E. And do you understand what's happened there? There's a reason why that's happened. And it's to do with the reading. It's the same old... See, it's the same old crap yet again. It's the reading. This has fallen into a read. So instead of it being a couple of millimetres, it's now... I would say that's got to be sort of like 5 millimetres maybe. Although I'm looking under the magnification, so I can't say 5 millimetres. I don't know what the millimetre is to each read, but that should have come across over that read to there. That's the difference. That's the difference in gap. That line should have come across to there. So it's double. It's double the length has fallen. Now, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm sorry to keep repeating myself. If you've bought a proof set, I wish I had. I can't go up in the loft. That's the trouble because of my bloody arm. Because you can't. You if you buy a proof set today, and it's only proof sets apparently that do it. I've not seen it with mint sets, but a proof set, they now do them in independent capsules. They sell them in an independent capsule so you can take it out and view the whole coin. So you can view the edge. I only found this out not so long ago. It was when I was doing all this with the coins. I was going through it, wasn't I? I was telling you about if you found out that your coin, you bought a proof set and you found out it was like this, you would go mental. Or at least I would. Because you're paying hundreds, the early ones I think were, I stopped collecting when they was 74 pounds. I think it was 74. And I said no. Because every year it kept going up. Each year it went up something like about between £5 and £10. They used to be £26 when I first started. And you could pick up sets of the 70s for next to nothing. But this all took off. It all took off. And the money started coming back in. And people were charging. A lot of people what they were doing were taking coins out. They were breaking open the plastic covers, taking out the proof coins and inserting old ones. Again, it's the con. It's the scam. That is well wrong. It's beyond a joke. It really is beyond a joke. Jeez, I can't believe this. I can't believe that I picked up one coin of the old round type to show you, and we've discovered that the coin skipped in its striking, and we've gone from that to coming round because I didn't know whether these had inscriptions around the edge. And here we are with a coin with a broken E. I can't. It hurts. It does hurt me. And nothing's really changed, you know. Nothing's really changed. Look at that A. Look at the left leg. What I call the leg. I don't know there must be a terminology for it. That left leg is shorter than the right leg. And that's still the same today. At least the E's the right length now. At least, actually, I'm not sure that I's right. Let me just quickly go round to find another I. Where is it? There. See, I collected the coins and I didn't pay any attention to them. I was doing it just for the sake of buying them. To have a nice coin. Yeah, that I. But that cross is phenomenal. That cross, all them coins that I've showed you of 2016 and above, looking for fakes. This is how this all started. Looking for fakes. Look at that cross compared to the cross you would see on a 2016. Hang on a minute. I only did them coins the other day, didn't I? Where are they? They must be about somewhere. Let's turn on a bit of light. What did I do to those coins yesterday? I only did a 20. Oh, I put them in my pocket, didn't I? Yes, I did. I can hear them rattling here. Right. So this is a it's set up for the rim on this one. Right, that's a 2017 coin, right? Without trying to knock it over, that's the problem. Because it's so... Oh no, because that's not. It's not with these. It's the £2 coin. Of course it is. So what was the old £2 coins like then? Where? I thought the £2 coins came out the same as the £1 coins. Okay. So here's a £2 coin. Let's go to a £2 coin. What year is it? Is this? It's got to be. No, it's got to be a technology coin. It's got to be a technology coins because they were. I think these are all special coins. Yeah, these are all special coins. I think I've spent all my £2. Oh, what a bummer. Yeah, these are all specials. You've got to have one that's in circulation. as such, as you know, like a proper technology coins, because they were the ones that were proper. These are all bloody. These are all my next lot that was involved with eBay to be the next. There must be a technology coin here somewhere, surely. No. I thought there was, but I must have sold. I must have used them all and put them back into circulation. These are all special. Oh, for God's sake! All special coins. It's a pity I haven't got one to show you. I suppose it doesn't matter, does it? I'm being sort of too perfect for you. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. So it's a £2 coin. Let's look at the cross on a £2 coin. Go on. Oh no! Don't tell me it's just a dot. Isambard King Burnell, isn't it? Yeah. I'm sure this must. Don't tell me it's just a. Hang on, let me get that out of the way because it's going to fall over anyway. Are these just dots? I think they are. I think yeah, they are. They're just dots. No, it's got to be a technology coin. Oh, bumholes. All I can do is tell you to look through my listing, my YouTube videos, and you will see the difference in the size of the cross, especially looking at this from the cross version. The horizontal and I've forgotten what the other one is. Do you know what? Look, can you see what I can see? I'm absolutely baffled by this. Look at that line. Look at that line. Now you go through my coins of £2 that I was selling, and you will see that nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. It's the same old stuff. Oh my Lord. I don't believe this, guys. I don't believe it. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. And actually, I think it's the other way round. I'm going to start collecting some £2 coins to do this. Ah, flipping heck. The funny thing is, just recently I've been getting £2 coins. That's an odd thing, isn't it? Do you know that is a really odd thing? I've been spending my £2 coins, but I've not been getting any back. I wonder if they started taking them out of circulation. just dawned upon me. It's just dawned upon me. But I can tell you one thing. If you look through my posts, you will not see a cross. That size on a £2 coin. So, anybody out there who's got a £2 coin, hang on a minute. Sorry, I keep going away. What are these I spy? Oh no, they're my 2015s. What are these then? They must be the 20. What are these? Oh blimey! Of course, we haven't done the 50p's yet, have we? Yeah, no, I've spent them all. I've spent all my £2 coins. Ah, so now I've got. Now I've got to collect a £2 coin to show you what I want to show you. I've spent them all. Ah, flipping heck. I can't believe that. I had how many hundreds of pounds worth of those? I've spent them all. Well, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'm going to start going through all these coins, these old coins, these old pound coins. And that will be a novel ride for all of us. Look at the edge of that to the other edge, the other side. Where was that coin then with the edge that was nice and thin? Oh, here it is it? Yeah. Or is it because I've got that light on? Anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah, so the light's on, let's make it wider. I shall be with you again, and we shall do this. I shall keep this coin here so that I know that's where I've got to start. See you later, guys. Bye.